All right. I am going to go back and forth tonight. I am not actually going to use a PowerPoint for the majority of tonight. I did print off myself some notes so that I don't get completely lost in just talking on, on a tangent. So I did print myself off some notes. So tonight I am going to, I can see the fire. Cal, I love it. I'm so glad you can, because that's what I'm really super excited for. So tonight I really am going to focus on why plants. Why is it so important that we get back to a plant-based focus in our diet, in our supplements, and in what we are putting inside our bodies? And I'm going to explain a little bit about the differences between medicines, herbs, and supplements, because I think it's important to understand all of that. I'm going to dig into what is it that separates a product from another. How do you look at products either on the shelves or online and know what's good for you and what's maybe not so great for you? What is it that distinguishes those products? And so I'm going to talk about that first. Then I am going to get product specific. And when I get to the products, you're going to have learned about the core components of them. So when I get to talking about specific products, I am going to dig more into like the blends, which is where we get into our herbs. And I think it's important to understand what is the benefit of these herbs. Why are they there? Why do you care that they're there? Because some people look at these and be like, I don't know what that is. Why do I need that? So I'm going to talk about the intentionality of how these products were created and why certain things are combined with it. I am going to do some demos because we do have high impact products. So there's a reason why we can send these products, we can give products to people, and you can feel the difference in minutes, hours, maybe days, maybe weeks, but you're going to feel the difference. And so I do have a few that I'm able to demonstrate. So I am going to do a couple demos. Much of what you're going to hear about as far as testimonies tonight is going to be personal testimonies of either myself or from my family. I might throw in a couple testimonies of, close friends, family, customers that have shared with me and have given me the permission to share that. But if what you're looking for is testimonies, we have a group that has literally thousands of testimonies of real people, clients that have used these products, different combinations for different reasons, and we can get you into that group. So if that's something that you're looking for, get with the person who either sent you this video, or if you're on here live, let me know. We can type Health Wealth Community or type HWC in the comments, and we will make sure that you get added to that group. Okay. Before I get too deep into it, I already need water. It's going to be, before I get too deep into this, I do want to put a couple disclaimers out there because we are talking about health. We are talking about supplements and things like that. So we do not claim to heal, treat, or diagnose anything, despite what I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about personal testimonies. I do have a doctorate. I will talk a little bit more about that. You, and I'm talking to anyone watching this, are not my patient. So even with my doctorate, I cannot claim to diagnose what you have going on because you are not my patient. Now, we can change that. We can figure out, but that is why anything that I talk about, I highly recommend if you are on medications, if you have significant diagnoses, that you ask for the information necessary and you consult with your doctor. Okay. Consult with a practitioner who is currently on board with your case. Okay. I'm happy to give advice, but it does not override or secede any other information that you have been given from another medical professional. And then I said everything else. So we're good. Okay. See, this is why I printed notes, guys. Okay. So first I want to talk a little bit. I am going to pull up my slides just to show a couple things about what we are focusing on and why am I so fired up about health products? Okay. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen quick. Okay, I'm not going to put it into presentation mode because every time I do that, I screw something up. So I'm just going to leave it like this. So we're talking about why are plants better? Why do we need more plants in our life? Okay. Plants have a role in any and every health or health goal that you can set. Okay. What's great about what I'm going to talk about is that these can also contribute to your wealth goals. And I am not just talking about the fact that there is a business side to these products. And I have a wonderful friend, a very dear friend, who's going to hop on at the end of this and help me with that, because I knew that if I was pouring all of my passion into the products, I wanted someone that could also pour that same passion into the business side of it. So that's coming at the end. But what's really important to understand is that how you treat your body now has long-term effects and has a financial impact on your overall financial health as well. It may be easier to do something now, but you're likely going to pay for it in the long run. And so when I talk about wealth goals, when it comes to plant-based products, that's really what I'm trying to get at. And we'll talk about how you can help support your family by bringing in an extra income as well, if this is something that interests you. Okay. But whether it's fitness, weight management, beauty, energy, vitality, or overall total wellness, plants have a role in that. Okay. We also have this is what gets me so excited, because this is what is so hard to find these days. If you have ever dabbled in the research on clean living, it is extremely overwhelming. There is so much out there. Okay. But what I can promise from the product, when I get to the specific products, is there are no phthalates, there are no parabens, there's no BHA, no BHT, there's no harmful colors or fragrances. They are gluten-free, they are GMO-free, and we're going to talk a little bit more about GMOs specifically tonight. And there is no animal testing. Most of these products are derived from raw whole foods. And I say most because when I get to talking about collagen, we're going to talk about how that's sourced from US grass-fed bovine. Okay, so that's not plants, obviously. Okay. I'm going to dive in tonight a little bit deeper into patents and proprietary formulas and what that means. Why is that so important? We have third-party validations. We have certificates of analysis. We have lab testing you can find on the websites. And then I've already mentioned our thousands of success stories. But what is probably most important over all of that is that the products, when I get to the products, they are made in a facility that is a certified good manufacturing practice, which means they are tested and highly regulated for mold, toxins, heavy metals, pesticides, all of that. And you can be rest assured that there is none of that in any of the products. And that is really, really, really important. And you're going to understand that more as we go. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share. I think that sometimes it's easier to hear if you can also read it. Okay. So we're going to dive into what is it that makes it important as far as what we are feeding our bodies. Okay. I'm just checking comments right here, making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So I mentioned in the beginning kind of 3 categories of what we can feed to help to promote healing. When we're feeling symptoms, what are we using? So I heard this from a colleague and I absolutely loved it. And I think it's really important to ponder this if you've never thought of it this way. Okay. So our bodies are not drug deficient. Our bodies are nutrient deficient. And because of nutrient deficiencies, that is where physiological symptoms arise. Okay. When we are given medicines, and I'm going to talk more about, I'll talk more about my story just after this. Okay. When we are given medicines, they are typically given because we present with certain symptoms. Very rarely are they given because they know the source of that symptom and they want to fix the source leading to the symptoms. Medicines will almost always work their way into a permanent place in your life because you take the medicine for a symptom, and when you stop taking the medicine, the symptom comes right back. It actually didn't do anything to get at the root cause of that symptom. So the medicine becomes permanent. I was there. Herbs, however, have a different energy about them. They've got a different vibration. They're from the earth, okay? And so a good herb is actually going to work itself out of a job because you're going to take the herbs, and maybe you need a higher amount or more frequent use of them at first. But eventually the herb is going to teach the body how to heal itself, because that is how it's designed. The body is designed to heal itself. And there have been amazing stories of that happening with diet and nutrition. Okay. So a good herb is going to work itself out of a job. You're going to need less of it. You're not going to need it forever. Okay. But then we have supplements, and there is a certain level of supplements that we are always likely going to need, no matter how clean your diet is. And there's a few reasons for this. So, same with herbs. With supplements, you may have to start at a higher level based on your deficiency, but over time, you will decrease. You'll need less. Okay. You'll need less frequent, you'll need less amount, and you'll need less frequent. Okay. But after World War II, there was a significant increase in processed foods, boxed foods, canned foods, you name it, processed food. Okay. Then in the 1950s, our crops started to be heavily sprayed with pesticides. There were more chemicals being used. And then 1990s came GMOs. And the first genetically modified product was a tomato. I thought that was really interesting. And that happened in 1994. So as our foods are being genetically modified, as our crops are being sprayed with different chemicals, toxins, okay, it changes the soil, it changes how the nutrient value. So it simply isn't the same as it was 100 years ago. It's not the same as it was 30 years ago. So for that reason, there is a level of supplementation that may always be needed. And there are excellent ways that you can have that all tested to know kind of where your levels are too. There's lab work that can be done for vitamins and minerals and all of that. And so it's not a standard process to do that, but it's available. And so that's also something that it can be really important. Okay. I'm just going to admit someone from the waiting room. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the bioavailability of minerals specifically. Minerals are one of the hardest compounds for our bodies to digest, to extract, to do what it needs to do it, because it's just tough on our bodies to utilize minerals. Okay. And so there's a very specific patent that has been utilized. It's called TRAACS, TRAACS. Okay. What that is it's called the real amino acid chelate system. Okay. So every mineral that is in the products that I will talk about eventually is a chelated mineral. And what that means is that this process created a compound that improves and empowers the body to absorb the minerals and efficiently use them. And there is sound research to support that. This is a patent that's not through this company. TRAACS is a system that is used elsewhere in other products, okay? But it is designed, these chelated minerals are designed to be the most bioavailable form possible so that your body actually gets the benefit of the minerals when they are presented to the body, okay, when they are ingested. So there's been research to show that this type of chelation can improve athletic performance, and it is especially important for those with absorption difficulties. Populations that would fall under that category would be the elderly, people with GI disease, and those who have had any type of GI procedure. So I think it's like colitis maybe is where they take out a part of the intestines. There's different procedures as to why they would do that. Diverticulitis is another one. So chronic inflammation of the gut, one of the treatments is to remove part of the gut. And so when you do that, you're changing the absorption ability. So anyone that's had anything like that, chelated minerals are going to be really super important, because the chelation actually avoids anyone with absorption difficulties from having the gas and the bloating and the difficulty and the constipation and all that goes with many minerals when prescribed for nutrition value. Okay. So that's minerals. Plant-based vitamins. What does that mean? Okay. One of the most common questions I get is the fermented on yeast and B vitamins. So all of the B vitamins and the products that I will talk about have been fermented on yeast. What does that mean? Okay, so the first thing that to understand is what is fermentation. So fermentation in our food is a natural process which actually converts. So it's carbohydrates are converted into alcohol or acids by microorganisms like yeast. Okay, the yeast absorbs the nutrients into its cell structure, breaks them down, and makes it easier for the body to digest and absorb them. So again, it's making the B vitamins significantly more bioavailable to the body. Okay. Those that have, and if you don't have this, you don't even have to worry about it. Oh, Cody, don't worry. She said that her internet's super spotty. There's a common gene mutation out there, and I don't want to say common, but one that I frequently get asked about, the MTHFR mutation. And because of the fermentation of the B vitamins, those with the gene mutation are recommended to have B vitamin supplements, and the fermented B vitamins are going to be recommended because they help to absorb and utilize the B vitamins at a higher level. So those with that gene mutation are typically deficient in the B vitamins. There's 3 specifically that they're usually recommended to supplement with. And when B vitamins are fermented on yeast, it actually increases the bioavailability of that B vitamin. Okay. The fermentation that can actually magnify the benefit of plants and any herbal blends that are also fermented on yeast. And in some cases, it can actually bring out the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds that did not exist prior to fermentation. So it can actually make the vitamin even more beneficial, or the herbal blend even more beneficial when fermented on yeast. Okay. So if you aren't personally eating a lot of fermented foods, it decreases the number of healthy bacteria in the body as well. And that healthy bacteria, which we're going to talk about, those probiotics, are super important for gut stabilization. Okay. And so if you're not eating fermented foods, my husband is constantly on me about eating and trying fermented foods. It's taken me a long time just to get to kombucha. I do taste most fermented food. They're still not my favorite, but I know the health benefit of them. So I do try to incorporate them a little bit more. Okay. And then the fermentation can also enhance natural killer cell activity, which is your first line of defense when it comes to infections. Okay. All right. And then finally, plant-based whole food vitamins. We're going to talk about other vitamins other than just the B vitamins. So whole food. Okay. When you think about vitamin C, if you go to your cabinet, if you've got a multivitamin in there, most of the time vitamin C is, oh, you made it. That would be interesting. Okay. Most of the time, vitamin C is listed on the back of bottles as ascorbic acid. 90% of the time, that is a synthetic form of vitamin C. Vitamin C can also be extracted from foods such as acerola cherries, which is what you're going to find in the products I'm going to discuss in a little bit. Okay. Vitamin A, you're going to frequently find as palmitate. Palmitate is synthetic, and there are studies to show that vitamin A as palmitate can actually be toxic to the body in high amounts. Now, it doesn't specify what a high amount is, but if you don't know how your body is absorbing and extracting the vitamins and utilizing them internally, you also don't know when you get to that toxic level. Okay. But vitamin A from a spore, okay, is going to be much better, as it's going to be absorbed much better into the body, and it's not toxic because it's plant-based. Okay. And then vitamin E, there are 2 forms of vitamin E. You have tocopherols, which is what you will see in 98% of the products out there. Tocopherols also are used as like a coloring. So you might see it, on there. But then there's another form of vitamin E called tocotrienols, and tocotrienols are 40 to 60 times more potent than any other vitamin E source, specifically delta and gamma tocotrienols. There is a book, and I am going, if someone is on here that wouldn't mind typing it in, but there is a book called The Truth About Vitamin E. It's by Dr. Barry Tan. It is a collection of the research he has done on vitamin E specifically and the tocotrienols. And it is fascinating. I am going to talk about it a little bit more when we get to the specific product about it, but it is truly fascinating to learn what vitamin E can do inside our bodies and how and why it is so important in our cellular defense system. Okay. And then we've got vitamin D. So vitamin D, again, from mushrooms, from algae. And then most importantly, vitamin K2, and specifically vitamin K2 MK7. You're going to find this in our immunity collection, which I will talk about. But this is a research-based form of vitamin K, and it is by far the most effective form of vitamin K for reactions in the body related to bone and arterial vessel wall health. And it's actually a product of fermentation. So we've already talked about why fermentation is so important. And vitamin K2 and K7, that specific form of vitamin K, is a fermentation product, also why it is the most bioavailable form. Okay. So I said I would give you a little bit about why should you keep listening to me? Where did all of this come from? And why am I here? Okay. So I have my doctorate in physical therapy. I am a board certified clinical specialist in neurologic rehabilitation. I graduated from Marquette University. I did residency. I have subspecialties in Parkinson's, vestibular, concussion, migraine, multiple sclerosis. I think that's all of them. I practiced clinically for 10 years. And about 2 years ago, actually 2 years today, I had a surgery on my left bicep. And that surgery resulted in a really bad reaction inside my body that led to chronic nerve pain, to the point that I was unable most days to even use my left arm. Okay. I have since had another surgery. It took 13 months, I think, to come to the diagnosis, to find the source of the pain. It was over 13 different specialists that I saw to get there. And along with that, at the same time, I reflect back and look at my life, right? And I am a chronic asthmatic. I am a chronic gut health issue person, gut dysfunction, IBS, food sensitivities, food allergies, chronic environmental allergies. And I have always had some sort of hormone dysfunction, dysregulation. I had migraines as a kid. After my third child, I developed what are called hemiplegic migraines. And at that time, I was still treating patients with migraine in the clinic. So ironic that I couldn't figure out my root cause as I was trying to figure out the root cause of so many others. But every time I had a migraine, and it had progressed to the point that I was getting migraines 15 to 20 days a month, I had stroke-like symptoms. And that could be tingling in the face, weakness of my arm, incoordination of my hand, loss of vision, inability to speak, or just like difficulty processing words. You name it, I had it. It progressed down into my leg. I would get just shooting pain in my arm, all of those things. All of this while working full time, raising 3 children, all of the things. Okay. I am now, I won't say 100% migraine free. I am 99% migraine free, because there are times where I think I still feel a little symptom, but it is absolutely nothing like what I had before. And I have something finally that is not pharmaceutical, and it is not over the counter something. It is a plant-based supplement that I use to stop it in its tracks. And if anyone else suffers from migraines, you may know how important it is to stop a migraine before it starts. I also, for the first time since so it's been almost 18 months, I am off I no longer have asthma medications. I no longer have anxiety medications. I no longer take allergy medications. I am, for the first time, the healthiest I have been in my entire life. And I attribute that to discovering the benefits of plants. And that is why I am so passionate about what I am here sharing with you today. Okay. So I am going to just pull up my slides here real quick one more time. And we are going to dive deeper into each of these products. So I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so we have a set of core health products. And the reason I bring this up, and I put this here, so you've got Balance, Enrich, Optimize, Support, and Fortify. Okay, these core health products are designed to work together. Okay, the core health group has a synergistic effect when taken together. And one of the ones that I would argue should still be part of our core health grouping, but if you go on our website, they've changed it up a little bit, is our focus. And that is listed more in our stamina, and I will talk more about that. But I do believe that focus has a place in the core health as well. And I will talk more about as to why. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into each of these, and I'm going to start it all off with a demonstration. Okay. So guys, I'm telling you, I got to stick to my notes because I would go even longer. So what I'm going to show you here is what digestive enzymes, this is our Enrich product, okay? What digestive enzymes do inside your body. So when I started this conversation, when I started the talk, I talked about we are not a drug deficient society. We are a nutrient deficient. Well, enzymes are at the core of every process that happens inside your body, okay? I want to make sure I say this right. Millions. There are millions of chemical reactions happening every second inside your body, and enzymes are at the core of that. Okay, this is a snack pack. I grabbed green, and you'll see why. Okay, but I grabbed green so that it's a little bit more fun. Okay, so I just opened it. You watched me open it, and I say all this because I want you to understand that I'm not doing any sort of magic trick here. Okay, so this is our old brand, and it was called Life before, but this is Enrich. And this is our digestive enzyme. So there are five different categories of digestive enzymes in this product that are going to help you break down any type of food that you put inside your body. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just open up this capsule and I'm going to pour it in. And I'm going to take this knife here and I'm just going to mix it. Okay. And as I mix, I'm going to talk. So within your body, you have over 100 trillion microorganisms that make up what's called your microbiome or your microbiota. Okay. Those organisms all need to work together synergistically. Enzymes are designed to break down our foods. We are supposed to get enzymes from the foods we eat, but we've already talked about how our foods have changed significantly and we don't always get the nutritional value we're supposed to, okay? When you become enzyme deficient, your body lacks the ability to break down the foods you're putting inside of it. When your body lacks the ability to break down the foods you're putting inside of it, you become nutrient deficient because you are not extracting the nutrients that you need to carry out the functions of your body, okay? So that took all of what, 30 seconds? I want to show you what that little pill did to that pudding. Okay, that's what it's going to do inside your body. We've talked about the different ways that we can make minerals more absorbable, right? By chelating them, by wrapping them in amino acids and chelating them. Well, when you add digestive enzymes to your body, you are helping your body break down your food so it can more easily absorb and extract all of the nutrients it needs to carry out the processes. The primary function of your gut is to digest and absorb, okay? The secondary function, though, is to create and support your immune system and then to support your brain. The gut-brain axis, you've probably heard of that. Your gut is your second brain. Well, if your gut is not able to carry out its primary function, it's definitely not able to carry out its secondary function. And so at the core of so many of our chronic illnesses, autoimmune disorders, is poor gut health. But the medications given to address poor gut health do not get at the core. I actually I had heard of enzymes, obviously, I have a science background, but I was not privy to the extent of the research on digestive enzymes alone and what they do to support overall body health, okay? So 80% of our immune system is housed in our gut. 90% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut. Serotonin is your body's feel-good, happy hormone. You need that, okay? Okay, good, I'm not sharing anymore. I want to make sure I was coming back, just make sure I wasn't missing any comments, okay? So there is an enzyme blend that breaks down gluten and proteins, carbohydrates, fibers, dairy, and fat. There is no dairy in the enzyme. It helps to break down the dairy. That's really a really important distinction, okay? In addition, though, we also have stabilized pre and probiotics within this product. Stabilized meaning that it does not have to be refrigerated. Okay, so a lot of times you will find pre and probiotics on the market that need to be refrigerated. they need to be refrigerated because the strains of bacteria inside that probiotic are only functioning when at a certain temperature. But if you think about it too, and I don't know a lot, I don't know enough about this, I'll put this out there, but my thought process with this is if I have to take it out of the fridge to put it in my mouth to then put it into my system, how much of it am I getting? How much is actually still functioning and doing what it needs to do when it gets down into my gut if it had to be refrigerated to begin with? So just something thought I had, okay? So these are stabilized pre and probiotics. There is 1 billion CFU within our probiotic blend, and there's 4 different strains of bacteria in there. And then our prebiotic, which is not commonly talked about, this is similar to that fermentation we were talking about, right? So prebiotic is the food that supports the production of the probiotic, of the good gut bacteria, to then support gut health overall, okay? The other important thing, though, that I want you to recognize within this product is the certain minerals that have been included. So there is zinc, copper, and manganese. Manganese is not one that many people probably hear about, talk about, know much about. So I'm going to give you a little bit on each of those 3 minerals, okay? So zinc helps your immune system and metabolism function. Interesting fact, zinc is also important to wound healing and your sense of taste and smell. I know we've been in the midst of a worldwide issue, and one of the most common symptoms that come up is loss of taste and smell. So interesting that zinc is actually important to your sense of taste and smell. Also, one of the reasons that it's highly recommended should you get an infection, okay? Copper works with iron to help the body form red blood cells. So if you have, if you are like your hemoglobin, your hematocrit, if your red blood cell production is low, you are likely low. Most commonly, you're told you're low in iron, but also copper is super important because they work synergistically together. Copper is also important to keep the blood vessels, nerves, immune system, and bones healthy. And copper aids in iron absorption. So without copper, it could be why iron supplements are typically found to upset the stomach and are not easily digestible, okay? And then manganese helps the body form connective tissue, bones, blood clotting factors, and sex hormones. It plays a role in fat and carbohydrate metabolism, calcium absorption, blood sugar regulation, and is necessary for normal brain and nerve function. So when I talk about the intentionality of the combination of ingredients in a product, all of that is essential to overall wellness, and your gut is the core of your overall wellness. So incredibly intentional in why they're all part of why that's all combined into one product. Okay. So our next product, I don't have it with me. I'm going to take a drink of water. I'm going to pause for a moment because I'm throwing a lot of information at you. If you have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please go ahead. You can drop them in the chat on Zoom. You can drop them in the chat on Facebook. I'm kind of trying to balance and answer both at the same time. And if I don't answer it live, I will definitely come back and answer it individually and get you the answer as soon as I can. Okay. So the second part of our core health is balance, and balance should be on everyone's shelf. So I would love to know, if you're watching live, if you're here on Zoom, do you take a multivitamin? Are you on a multivitamin? Most people are, okay? When minerals in a multivitamin are synthetic, they actually leach minerals from the body. So they're actually depleting versus replacing or replenishing, okay? Within our multivitamin, we have all the vitamins, all essential minerals and vitamins, okay? But 2 minerals that I don't think get a lot of talk are boron and vanadium. Boron is actually important for the metabolism of vitamins and minerals. So you need that in order to metabolize what you are ingesting. And vanadium is actually designed for increased energy production and muscle recovery. So just, again, a good wellness component, okay? But what sets this multivitamin, yes, we've got all the stuff I already talked about, the plant-based vitamins, the chelated minerals, all of that. but we also have two really specific blends. Okay. So we have a microbiome food blend. Okay. Within that blend, we have ashwagandha, which is an ancient medicinal herb designed to help reduce and manage symptoms of anxiety, stress, depression, boost fertility and testosterone, and help with brain function. We have dandelion leaf. I've seen this a lot. Dandelion leaf powder, dandelion leaf teas. So dandelion leaf is a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Shiitake mushroom powder is a great source of B vitamins and fiber. It's known to lower cholesterol levels, reduce inflammation, and increase immune health. Goji berry fruit powder has an improved feeling of well-being, sleep, assists with weight loss, boosts immunity. Camu fruit powder is a superfood. All of these have research to support the hundreds of years of use and what they are known for. And they're combined in this microbiome food blend. And then you also, on top of that, have a cellular health blend. And the cellular health blend has resveratrol, which is a polyphenol. A polyphenol is a specific plant compound with high antioxidant properties. You have a grapeseed extract, which is highly beneficial for cardiovascular health. Green tea extract, known for weight loss, blood sugar, exercise recovery, decrease blood fat, regulate blood pressure, improve brain health. You name it. And then olive leaf extract is actually a protectant for the entire body, prevents LDL buildup, protects the digestive system and the central nervous system, is antimicrobial, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, reduces pain stimuli, and is another, well, I said antioxidant, okay? And then you've got broccoli sprout powder, and then lutein and zeaxanthin from marigold flower. My biggest question to you is no multivitamin, but I can't wait to replace all the vitamins. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you think about just the herbs that are in those two blends, which is in this multivitamin. I don't know anyone that's taking all of that on a regular basis. And the overall wellness benefit is extraordinary, and taking it in these very concentrated, specific doses. Okay. So I'm going to round out our core health with 3 more products because I'm going to get to focus when I get into stamina. So we've got a proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic enzymes, this is called Optimize, okay? What I love about Optimize is you can see what it has in it. And I say that because it's got this beautiful orangish, I've got a hair. It's got this beautiful orangish powder, okay? And that's because it is filled with curcuminoids and turmeric root powder and sunflower oil powder on top of, okay, a proprietary enzyme blend. So we already talked about the enzymes. The proteolytic enzyme blend. So proteolytic means protein splitting. So when taken with food, this is going to help you with digestion. When taken outside of food, it's highly therapeutic, and it will basically work to clean up your blood. Think of like Pac-Man going in and eating up all the debris, the inflammatory debris in your blood. That's what this is going to do if you take it outside of food. Okay. But because of it being highly therapeutic, when taken outside of food, it can upset the stomach slightly. And so it is important that when you start, if you were to start on this, that you start with taking it at night and taking maybe 1 or 2 and then progressing. And as your body adapts to it, it does get easier to take it outside of food. I was one that I could not, for months when I first started, could not take it except with food, but now I can take it outside of food and I'm okay. This has been integral in the management of allergies, because allergies are an immune system response. They're a histamine driver. They drive up the release of just stuff in the body. I won't get too technical. I'll go with stuff. But by having this on hand, my entire family no longer takes allergy medicine. And the other big component of this is pain. So pain has a release of proteins in the body. A lot of inflammation in the area of the pain. It can also be widespread pain. This is actually the product that helped me. I had 2 muscles and a rib removed, a tendon cut, and I had scar tissue on every nerve in my left arm and 5 nerve roots in my neck. That was the surgery I had in February. And within 4 weeks, I was off all narcotics. And 2 additional weeks, I was off all ibuprofen and Tylenol. And my surgeon was astounded when I told him and went back that I did not want him to refill my narcotics. And it was truly, I focused a lot on natural pain management. And this was a huge component of that for me. It will help with kind of chronic pain, but it is more specifically and designed for that acute pain and inflammation and helping to clear that up. I took a lot more than just the 3, and you can do that for those types of situations. Okay, the curcuminoids. So the Trinot has a proprietary extraction of curcuminoids from turmeric, and those curcuminoids can actually neutralize and block the action of free radicals. And free radicals are released because of stress and because of inflammation. Okay, so they can actually completely neutralize that. Okay, that's optimized. Okay, the last 2, this is the old look of our Fortify, which is our vitamin C blend. And I am so excited that this is back and this is on our regular line. So in this time of cold and flu season, this vitamin C blend is a staple in our house. And we've used this year round because I was able to stock up on it. But it has when taken together, so it's got vitamin C, which we talked about is derived from the acerola cherry. So it's not ascorbic acid. And then it's also combined with other really powerful antioxidants like elderberry, citrus bioflavonoids, black currant, and all of those work together to support the immune system, but all of them are also very specific in respiratory health. So this is critical for those of you that have any sort of, anyone that you know or yourself that you has respiratory disorders or dysfunction, okay? It is mixed with a proprietary enzyme blend so that your body can absorb and digest and extract all it needs to. And then it also has chelated zinc. And I've already told you what the important part of zinc is. So I would love, yes. Oh, Chris, I love that. I love that. Okay. So then in addition to the Fortify with the vitamin C is we also have Support, which is vitamin D and K. Many people are on a vitamin D supplement. But what I have found is that most people are not taking vitamin K along with their vitamin D. And vitamin K is actually, when taken with vitamin D, it unlocks the full health benefit of the vitamin D supplement. Now we have vitamin D2 and D3. They're, one is not superior than the other, but having both is going to just be optimal for the body. And when taken together, they act synergistically to help. It has specific benefits in the bones, heart, mood, and immune system. When taken together, and we talked about that the form of vitamin K that we have is the most bioavailable form. So it's automatically the body is going to absorb it easier. They will help to regulate calcium levels, strengthen bones, and improve your overall heart health and immunity. So you take the vitamin D and K, you combine it with the vitamin C, and you add in the rest of our core health. And that is why they are designed to be synergistic, because the power behind each of them alone is great. It's wonderful. And taking one at a time will still give you health benefits. But when you combine them all, you're going to get this synergistic overall wellness, and you will not need all of them every day, all day, that kind of thing. You may at first, I definitely did, but the design of all of this is that it's going to teach your body how to heal itself because of the herb blends and the different proprietary blends and things like that. So that is our core health line. Okay, I've got another product demo. Keep you on your toes, keep you awake. I know it's 8 o'clock. I know I'm going long. This was one I knew I was going to go long on, and so that's okay. So let me just pull this up so you can see what it is that I'm going to share with you next. We are going to go into our whole flower fluid. Okay. I would love for you, Zoom or Facebook, have you heard of CBD? Or when this gets on YouTube, post a comment in the YouTube too. Have you heard of CBD? Do you take it? Have you used it? Do you find it effective? Tell me a little bit about what your knowledge is with CBD. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up another demo. Okay. So minimize this. Okay. So this is not CBD. I'm going to be very clear on that. I will not call this CBD because CBD is one cannabinoid out of more than 90 different cannabinoids that you will find in the hemp plant. This is a whole flower product, a whole hemp, whole flower product. Okay. First, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about it. This is the product that started me on a path to recovery, to healing, to vitality, to feeling as if I could give again instead of constantly feeling depleted. Okay. So all I have here are 2 glasses of water. Okay. I, for my migraines, had gotten to a point where I had tried literally every med my neurologist was going to give me. I was injecting myself on a monthly basis. I could no longer do any of that because it was starting to cause abnormal reactions inside my body. And so she sent me for a medical marijuana card. And so I tried gummies, chocolates, and oils, which is so commonly recommended. But we know that our body is made up mostly of water, and oil and water don't mix, right? So here's that glass of water, and here's one of my old CBD oils. And I can call this CBD because that's all it's in it, is CBD, some flavoring, and oil, and an oil carrier. Okay. But it doesn't, it just sits at the top. You see it kind of floating there at the top there. Okay. So it just sits at the top. If I were to mix it, nothing's going to happen there either. It may float down a little bit, but nothing's going to happen. And so we get about 6 to 9% absorption when you're using an oil. Okay. A whole flower, a whole hemp product, ours specifically has at least 8 cannabinoids. And this is on, you can find the breakdowns of it in a certificate of analysis, at least 8 different cannabinoids. Those cannabinoids work on a variety of 8 different receptors within your body. Okay. So CBD can only work on one specific receptor in your body. And so whole flower fluid only needs 1 drop. And the other important thing, right, Lori, it is not currently available in Canada. I do believe there is plans to get it there. Okay, so 2 drops, but what you see is it dropping through the water. It is water compatible. It is a fluid. It is not an oil. You get a 60 to 90% absorption rate with this fluid, and highly therapeutic with only 2 drops, which means it's going to be more cost effective because you're not using droppers full. There's 50 doses in each bottle. And after you mix it, if you don't like the strong plant taste, you can drink it. And I will finish that because I do typically take my soothe at night. Okay. So you want something that has more than 1 cannabinoid, because you want the cannabinoids, you want the terpenes, you want the flavonoids. All of that together gives you what's called the entourage effect. And the entourage effect is how the plant was designed. Again, genetically modified food, not how it was designed. Genetically modified hemp plant, not how it was designed. When you keep it all together, you're getting the goodness of the plant in the way that it was designed to work. We are one of, I think 1997 was when the endocannabinoid system was discovered. And we are one of the only industrialized countries that didn't, well, we did in the early 1900s, we did use it for paper and things like that. And then it got outlawed. But hemp was used for paper, for rope, it was used as a product in everyday living and for medicinal benefits. So this product is amazing. We also have a spray. It's an energized spray. This does have organic mint and cinnamon. It's super easy to use. You just spray it inside your cheek. It does, that organic mint and cinnamon is great because it does take away that plant-based flavor that you get with the drops. It's called an energized spray because of the way that it is ionically charged and the way that they put it into the canister. So it's really cool. It's designed to really kind of open up the cells and make it more, have it absorb faster. This is great for anything that comes on quick that you want a quick fix for, like anxiety, that just uneasy feeling. It's still going to absorb pretty quick, but sometimes this can take a little bit longer to work. I noticed, for me, it takes about 30 minutes, but I find this to be more effective from a migraine standpoint. I find this to be more effective from an anxiety standpoint. Both are designed to help with sleep and pain and inflammation and gut health and all of it. So there's lots of benefits to both of them. And then we also have a Relieve lotion. Has the same whole flower fluid as a component to it, along with other herbs, and one of them being arnica. Arnica's in there, and menthol, which kind of gives it like a cooling effect. But what's so great is, again, because of the high potency of it, you need such a little amount, goes a really long way. And it is absolutely wonderful for acute inflammation. I've been using it since surgery extensively. My husband uses it on his back all the time. It's a really great lotion. It replaces any other type of pain relieving lotion that you would need. Okay. So let me just make sure that I energizing CBD. Yes. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to just quickly show you. I'll talk a little bit while it's up on screen. Ah, where'd it go? Okay, so we are going to talk about our stamina line. So within our stamina line, we have our Mojo, which is our coffee or our chocolate. We now also have our Zest. It will be back soon. It has been on back order. It will be back soon. But this is our lemonade, our energizing lemonade, which comes in roasted peach or lavender vanilla. I'm then going to talk to you about Enhance, which is our creamer, and Focus and Boost. Focus is our B complex vitamin, and Boost is our Nobel Prize winning formula of, well, it has nitric oxide, which is a Nobel Prize winning ingredient within it, but it is unique and wonderful and amazing. And again, another staple for anybody that is looking for improved circulation. Okay, so I'm going to try and fire through the end of this as much as I can. So stamina. With Mojo. So Mojo is our Brazilian coffee beans, okay? In addition to that, though, it has a lot of added nutrients. So it's got L-theanine, it's got PEA, it has Advantra Z, which is a patented form of bitter orange extract, which is actually a appetite suppressant. It also has Chromax, which is a form of chromium that helps the chromium be more bioavailable within the body. All of these help to support brain function, energy. It also calms the nervous system. So it's basically coffee on steroids, but I call it my functional coffee. Before this, a regular pot of coffee my husband and I would split it and we would drink the whole pot in a day. I need 1 cup of Mojo a day. And that's it. And I have energy for all day. And I homeschool my 3 children. I have an 8.5, a 7, and a 4-year-old. So I need that energy. And this gives it to me. It's sustainable, clean energy because of the clean ingredients in it. If you're not a coffee person, it comes in a cocoa form, in chocolate form, which is just from cocoa beans. But now we also have a lemonade form, which is it's a tea. The caffeine comes from green tea extract, and it comes in 2 flavors, the roasted peach or the lavender vanilla. I personally love the lavender vanilla. I thought it was a really weird combination at first when I heard it, but it's really, really delicious. And I like that one both hot and cold, but it's really great. And then the roasted peach I've heard is great hot. And cold for some, but it's another option for those that are looking for nice, clean, sustainable energy, but that maybe aren't coffee or chocolate people. And then we have our Enhance, which is our keto-friendly amino acid creamer. So this has all of the amino acids that your body cannot make. So you've got certain amino acids your body can make. You've got certain amino acids that you need to get from food. This has all of the amino acids that you need to get from food in one really healthy creamer. It also has grass-fed butter and MCT oil, which all help brain health, cardiovascular health, gut health, all of it. So all of it together is a great addition to your Mojo or your Zest and gives it a little bit creamier flavor. I want to focus a little bit more on Focus. So Focus is our complex B vitamin. This is another really important common nutritional deficit. So B vitamins, let me make sure sorry, I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so B vitamins, we talked about earlier, ours are fermented on yeast, okay? We've got very specific forms of the B vitamins, but B vitamins are integral to the support of your nervous system, for brain health, and for just healing at a foundational level. And so when we are B vitamin deficient, again, our bodies are going to struggle to function. B vitamins are actually what are called a cofactor to all of the enzymatic processes that occur in our body. We talked about enzymatic millions occurring every second, and B vitamins are a cofactor in nearly every single one of them. So in addition to the B vitamins, there is a mental clarity blend. The mental clarity blend also has really amazing herbs that are a component of it. And you know what? I'm going to pull up, because right now, of course, okay. So we've got a mental clarity blend. There's a metabolism blend because B vitamins are integral in the metabolism. And then again, zinc, copper, and manganese. And if you can remember what I talked about with those and why those are so important, it's again, incredibly intentional how this product was put together. One of the main in the mental clarity is the lion's mane mushroom, which has been used in Indian culture for a very long time. It can help to minimize the effects of dementia. It will improve brain functioning. I'm going to make sure that I just say, here we go. Okay. Then we also have other amino acids. We have L-taurine and L-tyrosine. Taurine is important for heart, kidney, and brain health. Antioxidant defense, supports nerve growth, calms the nervous system. Tyrosine is dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine production. Norepinephrine and epinephrine are part of your flight or fight system. Dopamine is an essential component of brain function. It's also been found to be deficient in patients with Parkinson's disease, ADHD, and other kind of widespread disorders of the body. It's integral in the functioning of what's called your basal ganglia system, which is a lot to do with our automatic movement and things like that. Acetyl L-carnitine is important for energy, heart and brain function, muscle movement. It's used to support and improve ALS, fibromyalgia, nerve pain, alcohol use disorder, bipolar, MS fatigue, and infertility. So that alone has studies on it in supporting its use, and this is found in our mental clarity blend. And then we also have a blend of nootropics, which are just designed to help to support brain health, focus, clarity, the ability to be creative. And those are ginkgo biloba, rhodiola, and a couple of others. So, and then we've got our metabolism blend with this, which is green tea extract, cocoa extract, guggul extract, which is a gum resin, and then yerba mate extract, which is leaf. So there is a little bit, yerba mate does have a natural bit of caffeine. There's not caffeine listed, but just being aware of that. Some people with our focus will take it and they feel, they get that calming effect, but they also get like an energy effect with it. And so some people need one, and some people who are more deficient might need three. And then as you take it, you're going to teach your body how to create it again, and you're going to need less. And so that's really important to understand too. It consists of herbs that aid in healing at the foundational level, which is what I talked about. And herbs, remember, work themselves out of a job. So as you need them at a higher level to begin, it's going to work itself out of that need, because it's going to teach your body how to do what it's supposed to. So that's a really important component of focus. Now, our other one, I'm just going to make sure, is Boost. Okay, so Boost is our nitric oxide blend. So nitric oxide is neuroprotective in the brain, and nitric oxide is the ingredient that allows your arteries to dilate. Okay, over time, our arteries harden and blood cannot flow. Nitric oxide is the key to allowing blood to circulate through our body. Our gut, as it extracts and absorbs nutrients, sends those nutrients to the rest of our body through the blood most of the time. Okay. If your blood is stagnant and not flowing, your health is stagnant. It's guaranteed. So there are 3 different pathways of nitric oxide within this formulation. And one of those is actually a superfood blend. So there's a combination of 5 different foods, celery, beetroot juice, kale, red spinach, things I don't eat every day. I'm pretty sure most of you don't either. And it's all within this blend. So this is, because of the stabilized formula of it, it's actually safe for kids as well. So if there's any stagnation in blood or circulatory issues in kids, it is safe for that. You don't need as high of a dose or anything like that, but it is safe in kids as well. And then it's actually great for sexual function. And just honestly, getting wound healing, sleep. So if your brain isn't getting enough nitric oxide, I actually learned today that nitric oxide is also antimicrobial. And so nitric oxide is actually produced in our sinuses. And when we are mouth breathers and we aren't breathing through our noses enough, we aren't stimulating the production of nitric oxide in our sinuses. And so that is where a lot of sinus infections, throat infections actually stem from, is a lack of nitric oxide production in the sinus cavities. Super interesting. I'm a big proponent of breathing. And this is a new thing that I will be looking into a little bit more too. Okay, So that is our stamina blend. I am going to try and wrap this up as soon as I can. Okay, we got two more collections to go through, and then I will be done with the product side. So our next one, I'm not going to show you guys. It's fine. I'm just going to pull it up so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, is our beauty line. Okay, and we say beauty because of what it does inside to bring out externally. Okay, so our first one, this is probably one of my favorite products, is Renew. So this little capsule, this little pill here, is filled with those tocotrienol vitamin E. But in addition to the tocotrienols, which is called Delta Gold. Okay, Delta Gold, you can look it up. It's a patented formulation of tocotrienols, and it is the most potent form of vitamin E that you can find. Vitamin E actually lives in our cell walls. It's a protectant. And when we are vitamin E deficient, it is easier for viruses to get into our cells. Vitamin E within the cell walls will destroy the viruses before it gets to the nucleus, which is where it then multiplies and replicates. Okay. So when you have a strong vitamin E supplement, you're going to be able to protect yourself. So this is great. This is really important for those with any type of metabolic syndrome, any type of chronic illness, especially respiratory illnesses. This is really important. The other component within Renew is what's called GG, or geranyl geranyl. Okay. Geranyl geranyl has actually been studied. I want to say, it was early 2000s that the study came out. I can't remember the exact date and I don't have it written down, but GG is a precursor to CoQ10. CoQ10 is important in the reciprocation of effects for those that are on statins for cardiovascular disease. So when CoQ10 is taken with a statin, it can reverse some of the negative effects of it. But what the study showed is that GG itself, the precursor, can help the body create the CoQ10 to then combat the negative effects of the statins. So it's really important. And GG is actually the basis of our skeletal muscle production. So just being able to repair skeletal muscle, GG is an important component of that. It is also important in calcium absorption. So it helps to make sure that calcium gets to the bones where it needs to be and doesn't like accumulate like in the kidneys and cause kidney stones, or in the blood or anything like that, and cause calcium buildup, bone spurs, things like that. So it's going to make sure that it does get to the bone and gets to where it needs to be in the bone. And it's also an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and helps to improve muscle health and clear arteries. It is also, finally, it helps with hormone balance. So it actually increases testosterone in men, and there's studies on that as well. So a highly studied, research-based, clinically proven product, but it's specific to Trinot. And so I think that that's really an amazing accolade to have. So in addition to that, we've got two other beauty products. You guys, I ran out of my collagen last night. I miscalculated. I'm so good about making sure I have enough on, but our collagen is a type 1 medical grade. So it was originally formulated for hospitals, but the Glow formula that we now use is not the actual formula used in hospitals. It was the collagen itself that was formulated in hospitals to help with wound healing and other healing properties. Okay. We have taken that collagen, that type 1 liquid collagen. It is hydrolyzed, which means that it's one of the most bioavailable forms of collagen that you can find. It needs to be absorbed by the body. It's not going to be digested. Okay. And then it's mixed with biotin, which is a really incredible B vitamin, as well as hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid not only helps your skin retain moisture, but it also helps your entire body. So like your cells need to be hydrated. So it helps your body to retain moisture where moisture is needed. And then in addition to that, there's a really powerful antioxidant blend. So it's going to help in just fighting and combating all those free radicals that we've talked about. One of the things that is most common, people think of collagen and think of hair, skin, nails, right? Well, collagen also, the proteins that make up collagen actually can assist in sleep because of how the role that it plays in the brain. I'm going to try not to get too technical because I've gone so long already, but there are many other benefits to collagen other than just hair, skin, nails. But I will tell you, okay, I do not have any makeup on. And I used to be someone that would put on powder at minimum because to cover up my redness and all the things. And my skin health has improved so much in the use of these products. I'm actually today was supposed to be day 4. I'm doing what's called a collagen loading. And if you want questions or want more information on that, get with the person who brought you on here. But collagen plays such an important role in our immunity, in our gut health. And because of the gut health, all the other things I've already talked about. So collagen is really is a very important, but liquid collagen is going to be absorbed at a much higher rate than any powdered form on the market. And so that's very important to understand. Ours has no additives, no preservatives, no fillers. It is truly just the ingredients and that's it. So there is a tart taste to it, but you know what you're getting. There's no covering to any of it. Okay. And then the last beauty product we have is a beauty shake. We call it a spa in a cup. So it's our Nourish protein shake. Big things with this is that it's all it's pea and rice protein. There are only 80 calories in it. The carbohydrates are 90% from fiber, which is something that is very rare to find. There is no added sugar. And the main ingredient of this is what's called GOS, or galacto-oligosaccharides. The structure of GOS is similar to something called HMO, which is found in human breast milk. Okay. And human breast milk is a key component in the development of a child's gut, this HMO component. Okay. We are the only company, and this is the only product in the United States that has this ingredient, this GOS. And so it has been shown to reduce redness, improve pigmentation, decrease wrinkles, and increase protection from the sun, all from a protein shake. Pretty cool. It also has the tocotrienols and all the plant-based vitamins and the chelated minerals that I've talked about. Okay, last set of products that we have, I will pull this up so you can take a quick look. I just think that they're, I love the design of these products. So I'm going to bring this up, is our oral care line. So our oral care line was designed by one of our scientific advisory board members. It was 7 years in the making of the technology of it. It has nano gold, nano silver. It is fluoride free. It does contain xylitol, which is going to help with mouth moisturization. The nano silver is important to understand because the other silver on the market is going to be colloidal, or is going to have the misshaped. I can't remember the exact phrasing, but it's the type of silver it is going to not be a spherical shape. Ours is spherical. That's the technology behind it. And because it's spherical, it's going to pass through the body very quickly. The other ones can build up. The nano gold with the silver, the gold helps to keep the silver in place. Silver is highly antimicrobial, so it's going to help to reduce all of the ickiness, all the bad bacteria in the mouth. And then the other important component in our Illuminate specifically is the hydroxyapatite, which is a form of calcium, and it's actually going to help to build up the teeth while also brightening and whitening the teeth. So really amazing oral health products. The Refresh is the oral health rinse. The toothpaste, this is a mouth spray that's been helped. It's got a higher content of the silver and the gold to help to, it really helps if you've ever bitten your cheek and you've got the sore in your mouth or the canker sores, it helps with healing those. And then the Hydrate is the lip balm, which with a higher content of the nano gold. And that's specifically because gold is anti-inflammatory to the lips and will help with healing any sort of lip injury that you might have. Okay, that was a lot of information. I appreciate anyone that is still on here with me so very much. Sarah is flying out on an airplane early tomorrow morning. And so she did hop off. So what I'm going to do is, if anyone has an interest, instead of keeping anyone any longer, if anyone has an interest in the business side of this, what I can tell you that this has done is this has helped me in an instance where I am no longer working. I am able to give back to others. I am able to share my heart. I am able to share my passion. I am able to help others, but anyone can do this because we have proven systems to help you share just your testimony, just what happens when you use these products. we have benefited in the way that we've earned a car from the company. My husband is supportive in the fact that I can pay for, we're investing more. I can help pay for our mortgage. There are many, many benefits, and there are many people on this team and in this company doing things, full-time job and having this on the side, stay-at-home parent, maybe single parent. There are so many different ways that this company can work into your life. And we also have an entire line of wealth products, which is where this company started. So if you have any questions, if you want more information, get with the person that brought you on to this webinar, that shared this video with you, and make sure you get your questions answered. And if you have any specific questions for me, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. I am an open book. I love to share. I love to give my knowledge as much as I can. And I also love to learn. So if you have questions, if if there's something I said that you're wondering more about, I would love to know, because I love to do the research and I love to learn. And I don't ever claim to know it all, because I can't. And I will always be a student. I will always be a student of anything that I invest my time in. So thank you so very much for joining me tonight. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening.